Okay, hello everyone. I'm Binbin Chen from the team EIOROS from Huawei Technologies. And today I'll introduce our solution for the configuration task in this competition. And these are the contents of this report. In this task, we are supposed to recommend good parameters for MIP instances. And it involves two questions. First, how to search good parameters for C instances in the training set. We believe it is a search problem, and we choose the Bayesian optimization that is BO to solve it. And the challenges are that the dimension of C parameter space is very high, and there is conditional dependency between C parameters. And what's more, there is heteroscedastic observation noise. The second question is how to recommend good parameters for unseen instances in the test set. We believe it is a learning problem, and we choose the supervised learning that utilizes the historical information to train a mapping relationship from the MIP instance to the good parameters. And it is difficult because that there are very limited samples to learn from due to the expensiveness of evaluations. And the categories of structures of instances in the enormous problem set are unknown for us. So we developed such a solution which contains two stages that respectively answers the two questions mentioned just now. And in the first stage, we do an offline parameter search. Before entering the BO loop, we do some pre-processing steps. First, we do a key parameter recognition according to the expert knowledge from the software developers in our team. And besides the Gini coefficients on parameter features that are produced by the XGB model fitting random observations are used also. And after that, the parameter dimensions are and then the parameter dimension is reduced from the 2000 to 200. But 200, is still too huge for the BO to do a search. And we we further propose a hierarchical tree-like parameter search method. The word hierarchical here means that we further split the reduced configuration space into several smaller subspaces. And the size of these subspaces is selected carefully because we know that with as the subspace dimension increases, the theoretical settings that the best performance, tuning performance after infinite search times is increasing. But however, the proximity that the proximity to the theoretical setting after finite search times, for example, 200 iterations in our solution, is however decreasing. So as a result, the actual tuning effect goes like a flapped V. That is, it getting better at first, but then getting worse then. We do empirical experiments to find this best trade-off. And the next word, tree-like, means that indicates that the manner how we split the parameter spaces and how we determine the tuning order. Note we divide all parameters in the reduced configuration in the subspace to three levels, and note that the parameters in the lower level can have a conditional dependency to the parameters in the upper level, so that we can do a pruning in our search. Then for the parameters tuning in each subspace, we do a BO search. And for the BO search, we for the observed performance of different parameters, we do a power transformation. That is the Box-Cox transformation to the observed performance, which transforms our skewed distribution to a normal distribution, so that we can reduce the bad influence of heteroscedastic noises on fitting a surrogate model. More details can be found in this paper. And finally, we realize a better BO implementation based on the idea of ensembled learning. In the step of surrogate model fitting, we used both the GP and RF models to evaluate the mathematical expectation and variance of an unobserved point. And in the step of maximizing the acquisition function, we do multi-objective optimization set with acquisition functions of UCB, PI, and EI. And the Pareto front is obtained using the NSGA2 algorithm, from which from this Pareto front we sample the recommended parameters for the next iteration in BO loops. And in the second stage, we do an online parameter match, and which including a filter extraction and label prediction. As for the filter extraction, we refer to the works in these references, that is normal. And but for label prediction, we after different attempts, we finally choose the manner of category specific training. That is, we use the machine learning model to predict the category of the problem or to the instance input, and then we send the corresponding to the parameters. For the instances in the anonymous problem set, we first do unsupervised learning for clustering, which divide all instances into 3 categories, and then the supervised learning for categorization is trained. So finally, we summarize the overall framework of our solution in our solution. For offline works, we choose 5 parameter configurations for different problems, for different problem categories, and for the online instances of item placement problems and load balancing problems, we directly recommend the tuned configurations. But for the online instances in the anonymous problem set, we first use the categorization model to determine their categories, and then recommend the corresponding tuned parameter configurations. Finally, let me introduce the results. This is a typical search process for the item placement problems. We evaluate. we do BO. We perform each BO iteration with evaluations on 3 instances using the average metric and a time limit of 15 minutes. And the evaluation are done in a parallel manner, and the cost time of each iteration is 15 minutes of solver time and about 1 minute for BO time on average. And the whole process, which contains about 800 iterations, is finished in about 9 days. These are the performance improvements we tested offline, which we observed the consistent performance improvement online, and these performance improvements validate our 2-stage solution. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Questions are welcomed.